Welcome back, Tigers! Today we're going to learn how to add calculated columns in the Forecast tab. Calculated columns allow you to add columns that calculate additional metrics for your revenue teams. Let's go check out how we can add this feature to the Forecast page in Salesforce. Here we are on the Forecast tab in Salesforce. We're looking at Roger Rohr's forecast. Now, we loaded quotas for 4 different sales reps in a previous video. If you want to understand how forecasting quotas work from a foundational level, we'll provide 2 links to 2 different videos in the description below. In this video, we're going to add custom columns into this forecast page right here for Roger that's going to show him the gap between his closed forecast and the quota that he still needs to hit. We're also going to create another field that's called pipeline ratio. It's going to show him of the open pipeline, how much coverage does he have against the quota that he still needs to hit. So we're going to go into setup, and then we're going to go to forecast settings. And then we created this forecast type in a previous video called Rev Estimate by Month. This is our only active forecast type. We'll click the drop down, click Manage Custom Columns. We'll then click Add Custom Column, and the column type we will choose is Calculated. We'll show you how to do a reference data column in a different video. This first column name is going to be called Gap to Quota. Our data type is going to be a currency, and then the formula we're going to use we'll provide in the description below. Now, if you want to understand how this formula is constructed, we'll also provide a link right here that you can check out that shows the definitions for each of these fields that we're referencing in the formula. We have forecasting quota amount, and this is just the quota amount that we loaded into the forecasting quota object for each sales rep. If we had a forecasting type that was based on the quantity, then we would choose this field. We're using an amount forecast type. The other field that we're referencing here is called forecast amount 0. This corresponds to the amount in the closed forecast. All the closed opportunities with a forecast category of closed, this is the total that's going to show in the forecast amount 0 field. If we go back to the formula, this is showing our quota minus the closed opportunities in our forecast. So if that value is less than 0, this field isn't going to show anything. But if it's greater than 0, it's going to show our quota minus the closed forecast, and therefore showing the amount that we have left to close in our quota. We'll click Save there. The next field we're going to create is our pipeline coverage. This will also be a calculated column. This will be called pipeline coverage. The data type is going to be a number. The formula we'll give to you in the description below as well. This one's a little bit more complicated. So this one is referencing forecast amount 3. If we go over to our article here, that is the amount of the opportunities with the forecast category of pipeline. So this is going to show our pipeline divided by our quota amount minus the closed opportunities. So this is going to show of the open pipeline that I have, how much of this is covering my gap to quota. We'll click Save here, we'll click Done. Then our next step is to add these 2 new fields to the columns to display in the Forecast tab. So I can see them right here. So I'm going to add them over here, and then I'm going to move them up a little bit. We'll click Done. We'll come over to our Forecast tab. We'll click Refresh. And we can see our 2 columns right here, Gap to Quota and Pipeline Coverage. Now, we wanted to give you one more idea for a calculated column. We've seen a lot of you making recommendations that we have an expected revenue field that we can add to the Forecast tab, and it's not ideal that we don't have that. So we have a little bit of a workaround for you where you can add a weighted pipeline amount based on the forecast category. It's not perfect. It's not going to be the same number that's going to be your expected revenue field unless your opportunity stages have the same probabilities that we're going to assign to the forecast categories. Now here is our formula that we're going to use for our weighted pipeline. You can see that it's kind of crazy. It's taking the forecast amount, which is the closed amount, plus the forecast amount 1, which is our commit, minus our closed amount times 0.75. What this is saying is take the commit forecast, subtract out the closed forecast, and then multiply that times 0.75. Now, the reason why we're doing that is in the Manage Forecast Rollup section, we're using cumulative category rollups. If you're using single category rollups, you won't have to have a crazy formula like this, but we do because our commit forecast includes the closed opportunities. Our best case forecast includes our commit and our closed, so we have to subtract all those out in this formula. If we go back and take a look at that formula, and we look at the second part here, we can see that our forecast amount 2 minus forecast amount 1 times 0.5 is our next part. This is taking the best case minus commit and multiplying it times 0.5. So our best case includes commit and closed, and then our commit includes commit and closed. So if we subtract 2 minus 1, that will give us the amount for our best case, and then we multiply that times 0.5. Our open pipeline is a little bit more complicated, so that is the formula we came up with here. We'll click Save, and then we can add this column to our columns to display. And then we can see our weighted pipeline right here. Not perfect, but at least gives you an idea of what that amount would be, close to it. All right, we hope we gave you some great ideas to add calculated columns to your forecast page. That's it, that's a wrap. Be sure to subscribe to Blue Tiger Academy so you don't miss out on the next video we are working on, where we'll show you how to add reference columns to the forecast page. Reference columns let you import custom data like stretch goals or last year's actual sales revenue and show how close the team is to these targets. If you have any questions or suggestions for future Salesforce videos, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.